Hello and welcome to another edition of Stock Watch. So we get into the trading week now and we're looking at a new month of March, but the same old story, unfortunately, for the Russia-Ukraine crisis. And we reported yesterday that British Petroleum, or BP as it's most commonly known, has pulled out of a few projects in Russia, and it's actually cost them quite a bit of money, but their principles have remained intact in their support of the Ukraine. And this time we're hearing companies like Netflix and Royal Dutch Shell, commonly known as SHEL now after moving its headquarters recently to the UK, they have actually placed some sanctions and pulled out of some projects as well. Netflix is refusing to air Russian state TV channels in the country, and the CEO did say, given the current situation, they've got no plans to add these channels to our services at the moment. So a bold statement from Netflix there. And SHEL have also, like BP, joined the mass exodus of companies that are planning to pull out of projects or are willing to pull out of projects. So SHEL said yesterday it would dump its 27% stake in a liquefied natural gas facility, 50% stake in a project to develop fields in Western Siberia, and 50% interest in exploration project in the Gaidan Peninsula. So, you know, it's a big statement because Shell did earn $700 million last year with projects in Russia, and the interests that they had just now were valued at roughly about $3 billion. So for them to have this bold statement and pull out of Russia, we'll have to see how many other companies start the exodus as well, and what this will mean for the Russian economy going forward. So let's just take a look at Netflix first of all today. Since they missed their subscriber numbers on the earnings report, we had this very, very detrimental downturn, but it doesn't seem to have recovered because I've been tracking it for a while now. And even though we had this, I'll just move it in a little bit for better visual purposes. So even though we did have this slight up leg, it did not fill the gap. And this is very, very important because when there is a gap in trading, if it's not filled in the next few trading sessions, then we will see most probably another turn to the opposite side, this being the downside leg. And now we're looking at some support at this bottom here. So now after we've had the bounce, I am expecting another push to the upside, but this upside will probably only go as far as the recent top, which is a slight confluence zone with the lower border of the Ichimoku cloud, roughly about the 440 region. So with that being said, I'll just be keeping an eye on what the possibilities are on the daily chart, because I'm day trading at the moment with Netflix, and just seeing this zone here. This will give me quite a good clarification on what's to come in the near term at least. But looking on the 4-hour chart, it's a little bit of a different story because the Ichimoku cloud is a little bit closer than we saw on the daily chart. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, I'll just zoom it in for better focus. So I'm just looking to see the first test here. We've had a bounce, as I said, at this bottom, double bottom, moving up to a few bullish candles. However, we'll see how many of those bullish candles still stay intact, because when the market does open shortly, I'll just be seeing if it can pierce this bottom cloud, move into cloud engulfment, and then have another test to the upside. But we'll see how easy that is. It's not looking too good for Netflix after being hampered by this very, very big gap in the market not so long ago. But, you know, stranger things have happened. But my bias is currently on the downside for Netflix at the moment. So it'd be quite weighed down. But let's just take a look at SHEL. SHEL, we took a look at it a few weeks ago because we saw the certain accentuation in price action because of the pandemic and because obviously of the conflict that's happening now. However, as you can see, there has been a bit of a role reversal because there has been this slight descension in prices, and it's almost looking like a descending channel. I'll just move it in a little bit closer, where we're seeing these tops and bottoms being hit repeatedly, but now a nice consolidation to the downside. So with the, you know, pulling out of big projects in Russia, is this going to affect stock price quite significantly? It looks to be doing, but we'll see what the near term has in store. A little bit like British Petroleum yesterday, it didn't really affect prices too much on the news, but as you can see here, there's a big engulfment in prices in the Ichimoku cloud. Not too much on the RSI in terms of divergence, so we're not getting too many signals. The news recently has been mainly fundamental driven, so just keep that in mind with this conflict ongoing. It doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon, with Vladimir Putin, you know, issuing more and more threats to Ukraine and to the West. So it's looking like it's going to have more implications implications in a lot more stocks, but based on the implications, it could be beneficial for some stocks moving up higher and obviously more detrimental for some stocks moving lower. So just keep that in mind, because a lot of the news is fundamental driven at the moment. What I'm expecting from SHEL at the moment is possibly another downturn, another test at this particular area at the lower channel, and then we'll see if we drop out of the Ichimoku cloud, and then we'll see the next step to the downside. So that's what I'm looking for in the near term at least. So just keep an eye on that as we go through to the trading weeks. That's all from the Stock Watch today. Once again, thank you very much for joining me, and we'll speak again tomorrow. Bye for now.